Welcome, friends. Today we are doing another live stream. Outrageous. So, how are we doing? I am fucking tired. Spent the last hour asleep. Fuck. Oh. Lucky I woke up when I did. What's happening? Oh dear, Barbara. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Looking at some of the comments on today's video, that is. It seems a lot of people has a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on Arige L'Adore. Oh, sorry friends, I'm fucking distracted. I am doing, what am I doing? Your videos live. Oh, where are you people? Your channel, Livestream 98. Do you like my sea cow? It's not a sea cow at all, to be fair. It's a seal. Let's have a look. Hello, Dushan. Hello, DJ. Hello, Phil. Good evening. Good Monday, Rich. And Mr. or Miss Aquatic Cow. And to the ghost, which I feel sure we will be hearing from. Seasonal greetings to you all. Seasonal greetings to you. Scent of the day, Shergi. Enjoying this sample set I got recently, says DJ. What sample set would that be? Good evening, Adam D. Duck to the Future. That was on the telly today. Hey, buddy. Zhao. Welcome, Zhao. Good evening, Gajuro. I feel Tara should appear and say something next. Tara, where are you? Good question. Where is Tara? Hello, MJ. Xabez. I'm trying to say that. Xabez. Hi. Hi, Enrique. How was the weather today? The weather is warmer, much warmer. It was like 14 Celsius today, but wet and windy. Juro says, scent of the day is Comme des Garçons Avignon. I'd like to wear that again soon. Xabzez says, Rich, any thoughts on the House of Rogue perfumery? Well, he uses the type of ingredients that I like, but I've got to be honest, I don't necessarily think the compositions are that good. Mousse Illuminée, Derviche. I've tried loads of them, and I just thought that they were heavy-handed, very loud, very strong. Just not particularly well made. I find that with a lot of self-taught and indie perfumers, to be honest with you. I just don't think they're I just don't think that they don't feel finished, you know? Eugene has just asked me exactly the same question. Oh, really? Today I am burning my Sapan candle from Diptyque. It is their yearly Christmas candle. So that's nice. Galen is very close to do something. Galen is very close to doing something that hardly any of us ever do. His scent of the day is Comme des Garçons Kyoto. I'm so close to finishing this bottle. It's not easy for someone with a massive collection to finish a bottle. What do we got? Benji, I respect Rouge L'Adoré, but not really for me. Scent of the day, Pure Distance Gold. Antoine Lee strikes again. Smells like an even more refined amber in a wee. Nice. What's up, everyone? Says Dushan. Scent of the day, scent of the night. He is wearing a Ventus. Welcome, Germs. Birthday brother. Scent of the day is Terrible Teddy. Terrible Ted. Zhao is wearing Amouage Opus 6. Pat Lester is wearing Rose de Jamal. Hello to you. I beg your pardon. I'm yawning like you wouldn't believe. This is scandalous. Galen, do you like Kyoto more than Avignon? Says Dusan. Dusan says I do. But I'm honestly a bit tired of both. Well, that's a lot of incense for you, says Dusan. Dev, welcome. Dev's scent of the day was Nishane's Annie. Hello, Rans. Duck. Hello, Jonathan. Quack. Says Joe. Evening, everyone. Manginosis. Pure Malt Creation 2013 is your scent of the day, Manginosis. Nice. Galen says, the Instagram algorithm has been showing me a lot of ducks recently. I wonder why. That is a mystery. Dev says, I'll probably wear Prince Anatolia to bed. That sample is nice. Pardon me. Hello, Rachel. Enrique is wearing ombre leather and burning a eucalyptus and spearmint candle. This Sapan candle is very piney. It's very sheer. It smells like it would clear your nose and throat out and your sinuses. Arige is a novelty good material. Arige is a novelty. Good materials can only carry you so far when there are others that work with good material and actually perfume at the same time. Yes, except that, I agree with you, DJ, except that Arige doesn't blend in the same way that Western perfumers blend. He blends through distillation. I have come to learn that that is an entirely different method for making perfume. It's comparing apples and oranges. But I happen to prefer the Western way. I don't know whether that's because I've been brought up on that. I don't know if that's because it's my comfort zone. Because I haven't been exposed to enough Eastern perfumery yet. But I don't know, if I feel as though if somebody like Antoine Lee had a hold of the materials that Russian Adam had made, then there would be an absolutely outrageous perfume in there. You know? Candle of the day is salted coconut and mahogany, says Jonathan. Robert says, I need a new dust cover, a spare, vintage Antaeus in bed. I need a new duvet cover, a spare. Vintage Antaeus in bed. As your old vintage Antaeus burned a hole through your original one, like. You need a backup. Lily says, Rich, get an Instagram so I can send you a bunch of duck, seal and cat content. No, it's not worth it. Instagram is the devil. Afternoon, Micah. DJ says, I'm talking both west and east as I've dealt with various perfumers from both sides. Scent of the day is a Horov signature pour on. That is a good fragrance. Joe says, Amber de Coco still going strong on me after 12 hours. Eugene has fire tits. Frank, welcome to you. Dev says, recently tried some zoologist samples. Civet was absolutely gorgeous and made me interested in that weird world of the old girl on scents for some reason. It is the most classical perfume of all of the zoologists. It's definitely got that chypre structure. It's very classical in its way, if I'm remembering the right one. Right, I'm going to go and dehydrate. It's only been 15 minutes. I already need to dehydrate. I've been hydrating a lot today. Plus, I'm very tired. I'll try and go as long as I can tonight. That says to your mum. Oh. Fuh. Give me 2 minutes. Ooh, ooh, ah, 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 ah. door won't open. Well, I'm back now, so the extra 10 people that came in when I was awake can leave if they want. Shit houses. Pardon me. But I'll have a further touch of hydration before I sit down. Woof. There we go. See? 4 people have left since I came back. Evil. There must be like quantum particles or something like that. As soon as like I come in to try and look at them, they like disappear again. Like you can't know their position and their momentum at the same time. Gits. Rabbit says, have you noticed there's no cheap perfume for sale? They all want too much. Robbing bastards. Me and Ramsey often talk about this. We got into the vintage game just at the right time. Just before the fucking perfume, before all the perfumes started going for silly prices. DJ says, the new Cardinal I hear is also a classic style. I hear. Is that what you've heard? It's also by the late Rosendo Mathieu, that's true. He is late. Note to self, stream before you stream. Quite. The horror door. And then stream again. Hello, everyone. Everyone just saying sort of WD-40 that dang door. It does. It's either that or get the Ghostbusters. Benji says, thanks for the recommendation on Anteos. Anoitus. My bottle arrived yesterday. What? Anoitus? What's that, Benji? Do you mean Antaeus? Ritual says, there's a note that slightly sticks out to me in Cardinal as too terpenic. But I hope it goes away with some time. Lily trying to sneak out. Nishko Vic, welcome. I'm alright, how are you? Fosco says, I broke my cardinal rule against blind buying and splurged in Neela's Veneers Tray. On Neela's Veneria Tray. Anyone have any experience with essential parfum, says Dev? Not the most artistic stuff, but it's pleasant enough, isn't it? I don't know, I've never smelled them. Rich 44 is the year of Rochas Femme. Fosco says, I had a gift card, so it was fun. Coming in tomorrow. 68, says Nishko. Where are you going? Logged in, now I'm confused. Bye all, have a good day, says the Mr. Zanshin. Ah, good day, Mr. Zanshin. Any members here have Healy scents? I personally have Agar Wood, which I love. I've got Mont Fresh. That's fantastic. Bertrand Duchefort is fast becoming my favourite. Dev, I love Note de Yuzu, says Fosco. Yeah, Duchefort made the blind buy a little easier, says Fosco. The hell is going on, says Frank. Fosco, Note de Yuzu is very good and a salty, yeah. I love Athenian. Very pleasant fig scent, and it's his newest release. Duchefort is a magician. Welcome, Anoush. Wish Healy was easier to sample, says Frank. Yeah, it's not the easiest. Dev says, Jonathan, for me personally, I just really enjoy how James Healy does his scents, and his oud still has that signature airy texture. I think he means enotus by pure distance. I go away with some time, says Frank. Oh. Well, then off you go then, Frank. Juro says, as far as Duchefort concerns, chasing down a discontinued Eau d'Italie bottle, perfume d'ombre, bois d'ombre. Ooh, I'd ask a Nouge if it was discontinued. How do you rate Bellamy out of 10? Which Bellamy? You mean Bellamy by Hermes? Yeah, blind buy certain things like Mall, JC, Eleanor releases, says Frank. The Fragrance Vol says, this year sucked. I think we lost more colognes this year than we gained. I mean, I've picked up some incredible perfumes this year, but none of them necessarily came out this year. Eugene's came out this year. Bellamy by Hermes is #1 of that house, says Duchamp. I would have an Annick Bernardo do my bespoke. Yeah. Yes, Hermes, Bellamy. How would I rate it? Ooh, 9. Oh, the Hermes is #1, says Frank. Dev says, I don't think losing colognes is that bad. Gives you more time to spend with your current collection. I've sold 22 perfumes this year. I sold my bottle of Boss Elements over the weekend. I also sold a backup of Chorus Eau de Sport. So I actually need to fucking update my fragrance. Don't worry, I've still got 3. Calm yourselves, it's alright. So, Boss Elephants. It wasn't great. To me, it wasn't great. Boss Elements. Like, just, I don't know. I had it. I wasn't huge on it, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't think losing colognes. We all go away eventually, Rich. Oh, cheer up. It's worth me getting some then. Yes. I only blind buy Bogue, although I wouldn't recommend blind buying that brand to anyone. Or Bogway, I should say. Monardo is an all-time great, if for nothing else than for fucking Bois d'Argent, of which I am getting an original bottle in the next couple of days. It should land. It was sent next day delivery, and that was last Wednesday. And Monardo is an all-time great. Is anyone here treating the House of Sillage Avatar perfume as a serious release, says Dev. I don't know who the House of Sillage are, to be honest. Frank says, so I wore a 2012 Aventus and it was so much stronger than even a 2017 bottle, my newest. Yikes. I've got a 2016. I blind buy a frightening percentage of my fragrances, says Jonathan, but I have a very high success rate, luckily. Yeah, mainly my hit rate's pretty good, actually. My hit rate's pretty good as far as blind buys is concerned. Rarely do I get one that I really don't like. I'm actually selling a bottle of Kinski as well in the next couple of days. Tomorrow, I think. Greetings, chapettes, says Tripler. Welcome, Tripler. How are you? I am fantastic, and I am doing really well. Or something like that. What am I doing? I haven't bought anything for at least a week. Well, sort of. The last thing I bought was that Bois d'Argent cologne. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I need to start drawing up my list of my top pickups of 2022. You know, I'm going to do that video maybe the day after New Year, so like the 2nd of January. That'll be fun. I'd love to find a bottle of Kinski, says Jonathan. Do you not like it, Rich? No, to be honest. Excuse me. No, I don't. Dev says, honestly, I don't care for buying bottles anymore. I just get samples, and even if I do like the scents, I actually wait for one of the bottles to run out before I get another bottle. It's probably a pretty healthy way to do it, to be honest. Santa de Villarezi Ambra. Superb. I wouldn't mind smelling that, actually, in one of the old bottles. I finally have Eau Noir coming, says Frank. Only thing I want to buy right now is Bellarme when funds allow. Quite satisfied with my collection. A new feeling, a great feeling, says Frank. AG is very nice. 10 is nice too. Is Monardo not very active anymore? I don't think she was ever the most prolific. She wasn't like Marias, who was like knocking out fucking 10, 20, 30 perfumes a year. Delure is awful. AG is my favourite. What house is this you're talking about? Juro says, nice. I think Villarezi is a somewhat underrated house, but Lorenzo is a decent perfumer. Lorenzo is a decent perfumer, to be fair to him. He's actually very good. I've got Sandello and I have Patchouli, which are both really nice. I really like them. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a antihistamine, of which I need to purchase about another fucking 60 or 70 boxes, because I'm itchy as fuck. My friend's cat's got fleas, like, fucking biting the shit out of it. Need to sort that shit out. I've got itchy hands. Because I keep putting a dream on. Bellarme is powdery, not hugely. Bogway. Sorry, I never thought. I need to take, excuse me whilst I medicate. I just need to find, there they are. Woof. If you haven't told me your scent of the day, please do, because I am intrigued. Today I wore an absolute rascal. One of my favourite perfumes from one of my least favourite perfume houses. Oh. Oh. And that perfume was Real Patchouli by Boyce 1920. Fuck Boyce 1920. Bastards. But Real Patchouli EDT is fucking phenomenal, like. It's absolutely gorgeous. The EDP is a crime. It's not the same fragrance, not even remotely the same. It smells like plastic. I've got Yerba Mate and Colonia on the way, says Tripler. Douleur is a perfect name for that awful concoction, and it does. It does exactly what the name says. It makes you hurt, says Juro. Bob says, yeah, Monardo was active during my favourite genre. I'll take 90 to 2000 if I had to pick 20 years. I'd probably pick fucking 81 to 2001. Fosco, did you get a chance to try name? Yeah, the brief was certainly met, Juro. Dev says, honestly, living in Israel sucks for my getting perfumes from niche brands. Shipping is almost always between $50 and $60. One of the other reasons that I don't really buy many bottles. I once bought a perfume from Israel. It didn't go well. Actually, no. Sorry, that's a lie. I've bought 3 perfumes from Israel. 2 of them went perfectly. And one of them was a total shithouse. And it was somebody tried to sell me a bottle of Boss Elements, which I've actually recently sold, and they actually sent me Boss Elements Sport or something like that, and I was like, look, I don't want it. And I sent it back. I had to send it back, like, and he was just being a shit. You know what I mean? He was crying and bitching. I don't think Belle Armor is especially powdery, says Paige Jones. I don't think it's especially powdery, to be honest with you. Frank says, in 2003, when I graduated high school, I rhetorically asked my friends, where will we be in 2013? Crazy to think about. It's now 2023. Wait until it's 2033, mate. It's grim out there, I tell you. Rabbit says, I picked up a 1999 Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, and the perfume is smoother in the 90s bottle. It is. 2003 was rocking out. What did you own? Polo Sport? Polo Sport was a fucking tremendous teenager fragrance. Still a really good fragrance, to be fair. Hit me up, I'll get you a decant, says Jonathan. Dev, are you Ashkenazi? Where in Israel, Dev? Bois d'Assis from a sample. God, this is good, says Tim Wilcox. I've got a bottle and it is good. It's very good. I heard Polo Sport was a winner. Yes, still is. Very good perfume. I love it. Dev says, ethnically, yes. My parents immigrated from Belarus and Ukraine, Dushan. And Jonathan, in Ashdod, if you know the city. He probably does. I'll have to find something you don't have. Or maybe some older Arige, says Fosca. I should get an old form of Polo Sport from Anouge. I don't know that Anouge has got the old ones. He might do. Thanks, Dev. So that's why you made those smart decisions. Have you compared Patchouli from Etro? I haven't got the Etro one. Villaresi, yes, and Roma, yes. I have the Santa Maria Novella, but I need more Italian patch. You can't go wrong with Italian patchouli. I imagine the patchouli from Etro is sensational as well, but I'd want an older bottle. I'm going to start busting out my patch Soliflors. 2033, grim, yes. Yeah, there's going to be nothing grimmer than that. Mitch, is that brand perhaps Gardi or Jadi? That's the only Israeli brand I can think of that might be somewhat known outside of Israel. No, it wasn't. It was a seller from Israel. So I bought, when I say I bought the perfume from Israel, I bought it from a seller from Israel. He just started acting. He sent us the wrong perfume and then tried to bounce us into buying the right one. And I was like, nah, fuck off. But the other 2 people, I bought a bottle of Balenciaga Pour Homme, which obviously, like, you know what I mean? I was loving that. And what was the other perfume I bought? But the last one I bought was the one I had the trouble with. That's why I just bought it straight off. And I thought, this will be fine. I've had great luck with people from Israel. Like Italy, I've never had a spot of bother with buying perfumes from anyone from Italy. Oh, I've just sprayed that Iris Nazarena on my arm. A rare treat. It's got a lovely leather note. Yes, Jonathan, it's on the Mediterranean coast and southwest from Jerusalem. The way Polo Sport smells, I wonder if it can work today. It got played out. I imagine if it was the first time you'd ever smelled it, it would be great. But if you wore it a lot when you were younger, I imagine it would just like make you feel like that age again, and you'd be like, oh dear. A few months ago, I saw it on Anouge's. Give him a text, see what he says. No, Dushan, tell me more. Villaresi's one is very nice, says Juro. Etro, as famous as it is not really my fave. Used to love Patchouli Indonesiano from Farmacia Annunziata, but they water it down lately. Oh dear. Funny you say that, Frank. My lady can't stand polo sport. Told me I smelled like a douche. She must have known someone when she was younger who wore that, who was a douche. Rich, what did you think of the World Cup final? Utterly terrifying. Utterly terrifying, Pat Lester. I didn't know what was going on. I had to stand up during the penalty shootout, and I don't support Argentina and I don't support France. I did want Argentina to win because of Messi, because I wanted the debate between him and Ronaldo to be settled, and it has been settled. Messi's better because he's won the World Cup. You know what I mean? Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Javanese Patchouli by Xenia is a classy patch. It is, yes, it's very nice. Kafka-esque has a great Patchouli Soliflor guide that guided me, says Frank. Anush says, I have a vintage mini of Polo Sport. Message me when you can to double check your address and I'll send it to you, buddy. How many of those have you got, Anush? Gotta win the big one, says Bob. I think it just puts Messi clear. I just think it puts him clear. They've both won multiple Champions League trophies. They've both won multiple fucking league titles. They've both won fucking multiple Ballon d'Or trophies, which is the individual award for best player in the world. Messi's got 7, Ronaldo's got 5. And they've both won multiple Club World Cups. Both scored hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of goals between them, like 1,500 goals between the pair of them. But they've both won their continental trophy. So Messi's won the Copa Libertadores and Ronaldo's won the European Championship with Portugal. But Messi's won the World Cup. That best player ever. Tripler says it's a good overview. It's a good overview, that Frank, that Kafka patch guide. I'm going to have a look at that. Frank says, not a football fan. Watching someone like Messi, I wonder how someone can be so skilled, though, against peers. Just talent, unfortunately. Very particular talent. Hard work as well. There are people who are as talented who don't have the mentality. He's a fucking mentality monster. Anush, would you keep me one of those as well? Jura Rose is here. He's finally been able to sign back into his account and turn up. And he's come here. He's lost his sense of smell. The twit. Where was the last place you had it? Don't see your nose. Fancy losing your sense of smell. Imagine being a fragger and losing your sense of smell. How disgusting. That must be a right kick in the tits. Dear me. Thank you, Anuj. That Nobile 1942 patch and Santa Maria's are my favourites, says Frank. I'm into patch to the extreme. Have raw patch oils aged terroir like fine wine. Terroir like wine even, not fine wine, just wine. Tim Wilcox says Mbappe scored a hat-trick and a penalty, 4 in the onion bag and still losing. Yeah, no, imagine scoring a hat-trick in a game and still fucking losing. Jesus. Giroud lost most. I lost most of the smell for a couple of days. Came and went. Nasty head cold. Messi is miles ahead of Ronaldo, in my opinion. Messi, Pele, and Maradona are my top 3 of all time. I really don't like Ronaldo. Not the Portuguese one. Sorry. Anyway, it's from Madeira. I love Portugal. I love Portuguese players. Figo was one of my favourite players growing up. Ricardo Quaresma. Oh God, Rui Costa. You know, all these great players. Hugo Viana played for Newcastle. He was a really good player. Just didn't work out for him at Newcastle, unfortunately, but he was a fabulous player. But fucking Cristiano Ronaldo just comes across like a right bastard. Like he's in it for himself all the time. It's all he cares about. Dushan, I have a sample somewhere. Heard great things, says Frank. Same here. Patchouli oil from Singapore that was sold in Italy back in the day. There was my introduction to perfume in my teams a long time ago, says Juro. Somebody is selling a vintage. Somebody is selling a vintage Mon Numero 10 100ml for £110 on the eBay. Should I buy it? I think I should, but am I going to? That is the question, friends. Nobody home today, might pull for a heavy hitter. Go on then, Jonathan. Imagine if all those Italians didn't flee Mussolini to Argentina. They'd be so much better, says Fosco. Well, you know, there's a lot of people fled from Germany as well over there to a lot of South American countries. But let's not take the piss. Uruguay won the World Cup twice in the 1930s. I think it was the 1930s. They certainly won the first one, I'm sure of it. Didn't Mussolini become a punching bag? Yes, that was funny. Fuck him. Shithouse. It's the Hanging Garden of Mussolini. I'm looking at Noir Patchouli by Histoire de Parfum. Dura Rose likes that one, don't you, Dura Rose? Good evening, Manly Sense. Welcome to you. How you doing? John, I like that one. Yeah, there he is. There he is. There he is. He couldn't get that typed quick enough, could you? Dura Rose. I fucking beat you to that, didn't I? It's really unique in my opinion, says Jonathan. Dura Rose was desperately trying to type that before I cried it out there. Oh dear. Fosco says, Bob, the Angels have the 2 best players in baseball and that's still awful. Ultimate team game. Fucking not a big fan of in-your-face patchouli personally, says DJ. I wore that Real Patchouli by Bois 1920 today. I love it. It's a great perfume, that, you know. Absolutely fabulous. Just a shame what they did to it, really. They absolutely shat all over it. My Giants prove it's a team game, 10, 12 and 14. I don't know what that means. Hi, John, says Keith. Do you know, I've got a really itchy leg. I really, really feel like I've been bitten the fuck. It's not very nice, is it? It was a good game, aye. It was some fucking game, the final. Ah, got an itchy eye. I feel like I've been fucking punched. I don't know what's going on. Fleas. I don't have fleas. You've got fleas. You are a flea. Is it your friend's cat? Yes, possibly. Possibly it is, yes. What Christmas present are you getting yourself, Rich, says Manly Scent. Well, I don't know. My mum's asked me to get us a new radio, like a digital radio thing, so I can listen to the radio. I don't know what I'm going to get myself. I might go and have a look. We'll see. Sorry, Rich, I had to leave and teach a class, so I missed your answer. Are you smelling the rest of the Aresia Tars tomorrow on your channel? Hopefully, yes. Dev says, can anyone explain to me what's the difference between Prin's two higher-end brands? Prasanna and Prin just seem like the same thing to me. I don't know that Prasanna. Is Prasanna a brand? I thought Prasanna was the girl from Dusita's name. Rachel, what are you teaching? Poetry today, says Rachel. Phil says, Grandpa wasn't lying when he said they don't make things like they used to. That definitely includes fragrance, absolutely. And Rita says, have you worn Patchouli Kosher lately? How is it? It's fantastic, but I haven't worn it lately, no. Ooh. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Gabapentin makes us thirsty as fuck. Frank, is Balenciaga Pour Homme nice? Would love to try it, says Jura. Shut up, Jura. Wearing Givenchy Gentleman EDT, newer formulation of the yellow juice, definitely has been through about 10 reforms, but still very good. Yeah, it's been messed about with. I'd like it if they just took it back to the original, like. Prin, Prasanna, and Strangers are Prin's 3 brands. Have anyone tried Santa Maria patch? Powerful stuff for patches. Only know, but I'd love to, but they won't send us it. They don't do samples. That's what I bought the sample set for, thinking I was going to get a sample of that, and I never got it. I have it, Frank, and I find it very challenging. Can only wear it once in a while, says Fosco. I'm quickly going to read a document. I will be back. So Prasanna is more artistic and Prin is just straight up animalic. Is that what you're trying to say, Jonathan? Says Dev. I only have a new Givenchy Gentleman. Never tried earlier. Earlier ones are good. Because at least from the note breakdowns, both the Prin brand and Prasanna brand seem pretty artistic. Fantastic. Walt Whitman, my guy, says Frosco. Walt Whitman. It's a very American name, that, isn't it? extremely dry. I spent an afternoon at Walden Park once. Friends live in Concord. Juro, newer gentleman lacks the depth that it used to have. It is still quite animalic, but the honey and cinnamon has almost gone. Santa Maria Novella patch is phenomenal. It'll clear your sinuses, it's so clean. Outrageous. The Gentleman Givenchy Original is a great patchouli reference fragrance, says Phil. Josie says, Prin's work is artistic, but often unwearable. I smelled something he did for De Duft. I think it was called Act. And I ended up giving that fragrance to Richie G. It had a bad breath note. Had a note of halitosis. You know? Oh my God, why is my mouth so dry? He's a very American guy as well. Mitch Mann was very aggressive about marketing his poetry in a very funny way, says Deb. Okay, yes, they're both artistic, but I think Persona is more edgy. Not concerned with being wearable, though. I have Tiger and Turkish Leather. They are more wearable. I love the Santa Maria Novella patch, says Rachel. No, I'm talking about the newest iteration of the Prin band, says Dev. Act was interesting, but I couldn't wear it, says Rachel. Yeah, I gave it to Richie G. I don't know that Richie G wears it either. Dushan is pulling a strange face. So far, what's the most underwhelming vintage unicorn you've smelled? Polo? Just no. Just no. Just didn't do anything for us. Thought it was a bit shit, to be honest. Habit Rouge. I just actively didn't like that. Oh. I'd have to go through and have a look. But I would say Polo and Habit Rouge, pretty underwhelming, like. I much prefer Aqua de Cuba from Santa Maria Novella. I think I smelled that and I wasn't keen. I prefer Pavarotti to Givenchy. Granted, I have limited experience with the legendary Givenchy formulations, says Frank. I prefer Pavarotti to Givenchy, and I've got the older formulations. I just think Pavarotti's just a nicer all-round fragrance. I just think Pavarotti's just happy. Pavarotti just smells of happiness. Prin's Marnishtana is quite pleasant, spicy incense perfume. Welcome, I Smell. How are you? I hope you're well. Manly underwhelming, Wall Street. Wall Street. I'm not that big on Wall Street, I've got to be honest. Or Victor. Is Wall Street by Victor? I think it is. Both the same. Don't know what all the fuss is about. Maybe I got a bad bottle. Not your cup of tea, Rachel. Okay, I spoke to twins. Sorry about that. Polo, Warner, or Cosme? Both. Had both. Didn't like either of them. Nice to see you, Dev. Thank you for coming. I hope to see you again. Santa Maria della Salute. Well, it's supposed to be mossy and animal, right? I love it. I could bathe in Quorum and civet dinner away. Quorum's lovely. Eugene says, and here I am thinking even modern polo is fabulous. Richie J does. Richie J absolutely fucking loves them. To be fair, I did sell my polos to a good home, Mr. Pleasant. From, well, He's from Britain, but he lives in Australia now, and he came to visit his mum and do some hiking. And when he came, I sent the fragrances to him. And now he's got them, along with the Habit Rouge, which I don't like as well. What is the oldest perfume you own, Rich, says Tim Wilcox. In what regard? In what regard do you mean the oldest? Do you mean the oldest physical bottle, or you mean the one that was released first? Because I've got perfumes that were released in the late 1800s, like Cologne Imperial and stuff like that. But mine's like a 1980s bottle. So it depends what you mean. If you smelled Aqua de Cuba, I don't think it was the videos you made. All right. I mustn't have. I'm sure I've heard of it, though. Polo Warner, that's the pre-Cosmo version. Yep. Pavarotti's Sweeter Gentleman has that darkness. Totally different. They are very different fragrances, to be fair. Goodbye, Dev. Yeah, Victor, a drugstore brand, says Manly Sons. Hi, Rich, what did you think of the final? Shitting myself all the way through. Well, after about 80 minutes, I knew when Mbappe scored it was going to extra time. I knew it was when he scored his first one. Rachel, I will send you the words via email. That's the most beautiful song in Serbian poetry, says Dusan. Manly, do you find a discernible difference between Cosmo and Warner? Do you know he had to stand up during the penalty shots? Yeah, I couldn't hack it. I couldn't be sitting there low. I was going to explode. You know what I mean? Physical age. Mine is 50s Bandy, says Tim. Oh, God. I've got a bottle of Vetiver and by Guerlain from the 70s, maybe the 60s. I've got a bottle of Loewe Pour Homme Parahombra, which was only made in the 70s. I had the Warner version of Polo, which was made in the 70s. Probably the 70s. I can't think of anything I've got that's older than that. So yeah, that's about the oldest. I have L'Air Bleu Extrait from the early 70s. Honestly, not that much different from my 2014. Physically, any recommendations on good, moderately priced green fragrance? Says I smell. Good, moderately priced green fragrance. Something that smells green. Has anyone in the chat got any ideas? Number 19, says Just. That's a good shout. Cristal. Cristal's irisy though. But it is also green. I wonder what else. Green. The chat will be able to help. Try Vintage Silences, says Rachel. I only smelled the current Polo. Not as easy to obtain vintages of it in Europe as it is in the US. I like the current, but everyone says the hay note is shite. I had 2 bets on France when they went 2-0 down. I had a feeling they would come back. Just wasn't enough in the end. Richie G got 20-1 for it to go to penalties at 2-0 in the 80th minute. He got 20-1, and I think he won. I should really get in touch with him, actually, and ask him what happened to that bet. Thanks for replying to my comment on today's video, says Ali Boy. No problem. I know you like vintage designers and don't get on with the modern distilled dudes. They're very alien to us. They're very much different. I'm enjoying the challenge, and I won't give up on them. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not going to spend 350 quid on a bottle, you know? to try and learn them lessons. I've got that sample set. I've tried them. I'm going to try at least, I think of the ones I got today, I'm going to try 3 of them on skin. So I'm going to try that Limiti. I'm going to try Beauty and the Beast, and I'm going to try Amber de Coco, and then I'm going to try the other ones tomorrow on paper. And we'll see which ones I feel like trying on skin. I definitely like to try and get to know things better that I don't particularly like. Do you know what I mean? I try and challenge myself. There's 45 people watching. Hello. 46. Welcome to 46. How are you? Long live sheepra, says Duchamp. Not floral sheepras, though. Leather sheepras, yes. It's an underrated low-key scent, says DJ. I don't think there's any difference at all between Polo Warner and Cosmo. Polo Warner versus Cosmo. Oh, well, says the news. I'm beginning to believe all professional sports are rigged, says Phil. I don't know if they're rigged. If you've ever met professional sports people, they're not normal. Trying to rig professional sports, you've got to get all them people to try and they're very rich. They're very rich. I mean, boxing, maybe. UFC, less so. Football, it's a nightmare. You'd struggle with like big team games like that because you've got to get more than one. If you look on social media, Messi won the World Cup, not Argentina, says Dino. Yes, that's fair play. Alexis McAllister, the absolute rascal. He had the game of his life. Rodrigo de Paul was great as well. Angel Di Maria, brilliant. Lionel Scaloni. Jonathan says, I have an early 70s Dear Essence in the light blue bottle, an Aramis decanter from 73. I've seen that Aramis decanter. It's amazing. Cabochette is a green. Brocade tomato leaf and blackcurrant. Is that Henri Brocade? I whipped out a couple of his fragrances the other day. Someone was asking us if I had any Soviet era perfume. I was like, oh, yes, I do. Early 70s, number 19, 70s Rochas Femme. I've got that. I've got a 70s Rochas Femme, I think. Awesome. A lot of nonsense about old fragrances dying, says Tim Wilcox. Anu says, a man from the shadow. Anu's a man from the shadow. And at the very time, the brightest sun in this community. A man from the shadow. I really like Eris's Green Spell. The tomato leaf one. I liked it, but I wouldn't buy a bottle of it. I appreciated it for what it was, but I wouldn't buy a bottle. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. The gabapentin has given me the driest of mouths. Wow, I've never known such cotton mouth. Tom Ford Vert d'Anson. Yes, I should really wear that again soon. Has a pine and green incense. Bubbles matter. We want bubbles. Shut up, Jura. Dirk, wish you could come over. I have all types of ouds and atars, says Frank. I wish I could come over as well. Rachel says, Quorum is so green, mossy. Yes, I smell. If you want to try a green, mossy, slightly smoky fragrance, Quorum by Antonio Puig. I'm going to write it in the chat. Well, Quorum, all you've got to do is search Quorum there, to be fair. Vert d'Ansons is way better than most of the popular Tom Fords, in my opinion. I agree. I've got a decanter of it. I got one at a really, really good price. It's really oily. Have you ever noticed that when you spray it on your skin, it's extremely oily? Ah, Natalia, welcome to you. Anybody tried a Remengildo Zegna Florentine Iris? Yes, it's very nice. It's a little delicate. It is very nice, though. What's your favourite leather sheepra duck, says Rachel. Quorum? Quorum? Not Quorum. Jesus, not Quorum. Koros? Koros is a leather sheepra, isn't it? Antaeus? Antaeus is a leather sheepra. One of them. Derby's a leather sheep, right? All that good stuff. DJ says, Frank, same, I have a box. Sorry. Woof. I have a box full of atars and expensive oud, like $500 a gram oud and such like that. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know that one now, Jonathan says, I smell. Tobacco Vert. How would you describe Dear Essence, Jonathan? I've been wanting to try it. I think Anuj might have some vintage Dear Essence. De Maria had a good game, even though I can't stand him. He's a whiny little shit. They'll last us forever, DJ, says Frank. Rogue Mousse Illumine is a good green one. I didn't like that. Bri, welcome. Yes, Rogue is a great house of masculine green frags. Eugene was asking me this before. Somebody must have done something about Rogue recently, because lots of people all at once started talking to me about Rogue. And I just think that the blending isn't up to the ingredients standards. I think it's that time-old thing that I've been saying. I think that indie perfumers aren't as good as their ingredients. If a classically trained perfumer had access to those materials, the fragrances would be stunning. I just think that most indie perfumers are bailed out by the quality of their ingredients. You know? It's very DIY. I appreciate there's a lot of creativity comes out of people like that, because they're not funneled into a way of operating or a way of thinking or a way of like creating, so they can come up with lots of new and interesting things, but the execution isn't as good as an Olivia Paul, Jean-Annick Menardo, Christopher Sheldrake, Jean-Claude Elena, Pierre Baudin. Name them all, you know. There are some exceptions, don't get us wrong, you know. There are some brilliant perfumers who are exceptions to what I've just said, but rare. Got some more expensive oils coming, says DJ. Sampling before I commit to a bigger amount. Hello, Aaron. My scent of the day is Interlude Black Iris. Can't smell it. That shows the level of my anosmia, says Jura Rose. Can't find a vintage Iris Silver Mist. Shake my head. No, I can't either. I'd love a vintage bottle of that. Serge Luton has 35% off on Boxing Day, if anybody's interested. And it's not a bad shout, you know. I do crave some bitter greens in the summer heat sometimes. Hermès Eau de Gentian Blanc does the trick very well, as does Luton's Au Foie. Josie, it's a heady, beautiful floral with an incredible ambergris. Is Pyroban Pour Homme not the greenest thing you've ever smelled? No. I don't like the black iris thingy. I feel that it's artificial oud, says Natalia. Natalia, I sprayed it on, hoping I could smell it. Couldn't smell a thing. Ambergris is a magical note. I smell drop about 10 G's on grey fragrances, says Bosco. Natalia, it's lovely, and I was chatting with the perfumer Manny and told me that Flora and Fauna is his favourite. Fougère l'Aube is Rogue's best release in my opinion, says Nick. Pie is here. Bought a vintage Habit Rouge and a vintage Heritage bundle. Excited. Happy days. Bright says his scent of the day is Habit Rouge dress code. I'm actually trying to sell a bottle of that. What's Boxing Day, says Floral Notes. That's the day after Christmas. A celebration of Ali versus Fraser. Well, if anybody deserved one, you know. Has anyone tried Serge Luton's L'incendiaire. No. Brian says Hiram might do best blends from the Indies in my opinion. Ensar and Botany, good too. Arige, Bianchi and many others could do better. Yeah, those brands you said at the end. I've got to be honest, I tried Hiram Green's Hide and I thought it was shit. Like just straight up crap. It was just dirty, grey dollops of fucking ingredients. Not ideal. Andy Tower is probably the best self-taught that I've smelled. But I'm sure he's had training. Sultan Pasha's hard to beat in that space, yeah. Hide you must try for 24 hours. It's unwearable birch for hours, but then it gets beautiful for like 20 hours. That's a bit of a problem. Don't you think? Something's shit for hours before it's great. Ali Boy says Les Moors. To be fair, Les Moors is very good, to be fair. To be fair. You know. Les Moors is very good at it too. Oh! Excuse me, friend. For once again, I must dehydrate. Gabapentin's got me thirsty. Oh. I'll be back. This fucking Sapan cunt stinks. Good lord. I'm gonna have to turn this fucking candle off. It's absolutely blitzing us. Whew. This candle has a lid. A golden lid, friends. A golden lid. Can you believe it? Fancy that. A candle with a golden lid. And the man with the golden gun. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Oh! Oh shit. Well, I just dropped the phone on my face, so that was fun. Let's see. Oh no, 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 that's my voice. You don't want to hear that. Let's see, where are we? Alright. Liz Moores is great, News the best for green. Sultan, Gardoni and Liz Moores are great. Prin Lomros and Mayo Fushini are also excellent at blending, says Tazdocs even. Have you checked any of their stuff out? No, but I would like to try some Mayo Fushini. I have tried Prin, and I wasn't impressed if I'm being honest. But I have tried Mayo Fushini. I haven't tried Mayo Fushini, God. And I would like to, because I know Fragrance Journey's a massive fan. Dryad is one of the finest traditionally structured shippers ever made, in my honest opinion, says Nick. I might go a slow dive today, speaking of Hiram Green. Tried Hyde today, pure barbecue, not in a good way. Yes, that's right, it's smoky, but in a barbecue kind of way, and it's not. I don't want to smell like a fucking barbecue. But love is slow dive, very realistic, unsweetened honey with honeycomb, says Juro. Big yes to Prince, says Brian. Wearing Manjun right now. Similar to his Burning Ben. Fosco says Mayo Fushini is excellent. I would like to try Mayo Fushini. Bogue Mai is one of my favourites for an indie perfume, and Liz is a wonderful perfumer and a beautiful lady, says Pi. They are huge, aren't they? I love mine. Maybe I'm weird, says Jonathan. I love Hyde, even. Mayo, I can only get 2 to 3 of his. Little Song is a masterpiece. Sultan, Liz Moores, etc., says Rachel. Yeah, lots of good stuff out there. Also love Prin, says Ali Boy. Love all his own lines. May I sing you a little song, says Pi. You may not. Foschi I've Luce by Mayo Fushini. Wonderful. Manuel, the rogue guy, is excellent, says Peter. I'm not a fan. Fosco says, Pie, my smells like it was made by a master back in the 30s. I agree on Mayo Fushini, says Tazdocs. There are 3 or 4 standouts to me, Little Song being one of the best. Nice, I haven't tried it though. Speaking of decants, Rich is decanting himself right now, says Natalia. Seems like a painful process, these noises, says Natalia. Pi says, Anuj, have you got any vintage bottles of Lidge? I wouldn't have thought so. Nope, says Anuj. All this high-level perfume's being brought up. Meanwhile, my scent of the day is Tom Ford Oud Wood, says Frank. Some days you just need a palate cleanser, a day off. Roger is a great blender, says Frank, who is trying to get himself banned. Going mad this Christmas, living like a monk next year, says DJ. Ah, Burke, how are you? Welcome. Sorry, friends, I had to cough. That sapphire candle is massive. Wow. It reeks of pine in here. Excuse me. Sorry. Little song and odor were my favorites. High quality and very unique fragrances right there, says Zhao. Everyone is saying hi to Zhao. And Zhao is saying hi to everyone. Provenzano is one of the best blenders I've come across, says Brian. If he ever gets outed as Roger's perfumer, I would not be shocked. Interesting. DJ says, in news, yes, funny thing is they're so desperate here they're delivering parcels even if customs hadn't been paid. Lol. Bariatrion. I'll read this when I am finished streaming. I'm meant to be meeting Richie G on fucking Wednesday, but I don't know where and I don't know when. I'm going to take him his Christmas presents, which I will have to wrap tomorrow. But yes, DJ makes a good point. There is hell on with the Christmas rush at the minute at Royal Mail. You know? Absolute hell on. It's there's been loads of strikes. None of them are going to work 2 days this week, which is just before Christmas. Absolute fucking nightmare. They're prioritizing parcels apparently, which is nice. Nick N is here. I love wrapping gifts, says Floral Notes. I hate wrapping gifts because I'm shite at it. Masham Raza is a blender of the highest order. He's something of the highest order, Franco, but I don't know if it's blending. Currently, I'm in Vilnius, Lithuania, says Scented Moments. Outrageous. He's on holiday. Have you ever tried any Floriku? No. But starting in January, I will be unleashing my January scent project sample set. So in a couple of weeks, that is the next sample set I'm going to start with. I've been sitting on that for about 6 or 7 months, just waiting for January to come round. So, believe that. That will be fun, won't it? Sorry for coughing in your ear, everyone. But one has a cough. You know? Where are we? History of a tar collection. You want to edit and you want to use a custom thumbnail. Oh dear. Where is that picture of a Rige that I had? I downloaded a picture from there. She blows. Arige Ledora. So I'm just editing my video whilst I'm on the go because I am very fashion now. I'm not fashion. Indeed, Fosco. Cold. Imagine Lithuania's cold. Beef at the gathering, says Irregular Tangent. Welcome. Burke says, I think combining fragrances with haiku poems is an interesting theme. DJ says Mitch is going to what the fuck at some of those. What, the January scent projects? Are they a little bit weird? I'm looking forward to some of the strange names. I think one of them's called Buvuvu, which I'm very much looking forward to. Floriku looks beautiful, but one of the most disappointing lines I've tried, says Brian. And Zhao says, still have 3 videos to upload. Oh no. Dusita is a great blender if she is blending, says Frank. Nick says, I hope that you have Aiden Rantler from January Scent Project in that sample set. I've got no idea. I haven't checked, to be honest. Not even close. Rachel says she'll be right back. Okay, shall we wait? Anyone own Dior's Mitza? Should I buy, says Tim. I have the opportunity to buy a Mitza. I just don't know that I'm going to. January Scent Project Smolder Rose was my favourite, says Bri. Hello, Doc. Hello, Scent Reaper. Been wearing the hell out of Dior Homme Silver Stem lately. It's made me not even care for all the other versions, to be honest. It is fabulous. I've got my black stem ready. I might wear that tomorrow. I don't know. I've got such a big collection now. I need to put some more stuff on eBay. Clear some room. Big yes on that, Tim, says Jonathan. I own Mitza. It's for you love amber. It's well worth it, says Frank. Becky says, by the way, scent of the day is Bocanera. Oh, if you would like to like the stream, you are more than welcome to like the stream. Apparently, that is something that you can do. So if you like to like streams, you are more than welcome to like this stream. Thanks. Oh my goodness me. I see we're all talking about various ouds today. Ouds and atars and things like that. I've got some Sultan Pasha stuff that Peter from Fragrance View gave me. Fougère Noir, something else, and I'm going to try them. I've tried them. I know what they're like, but I'm going to do like some first impressions and stuff like that. I see Robes has come back as well, which is good news for the community, I feel. But he's got rid of Pop the Cherry. He said it was a trash name, which I'm inclined to agree with. And he has gone back to using sampling samples, which I tentatively wanted to use myself. I want to change my first impressions because they're not. What I have to do is I have to make them first impressions. Like, it has to be like the first time I've smelled them, lest it be fraud. And I don't want it to be fraud. You know what I mean? By the way, scent of the day is Bocanera. What's that? Scent of the evening is Tiziana Terenzi Gummin. This is a regular tangent. Tripler says sampled Bevuvu a couple of days ago. Very nice, actually. I know Pep liked it. You know, Pep from the Sentinel. Pep really liked it too. Senriba says, wearing silver stem and black stem back to back made me realise there's something in the black stem that bothers me that's absent in the silver stem. The black stem has that slightly sour ambery thing. Ooh, I don't know if that's it. I just think that it's a lot less intricate. I think that, and that's Demaché's style. He's not an intricate perfumer, whereas Olivia Polger's extremely intricate. He builds things from a very small scale up to a very large scale, and everything makes sense. And he uses if it was a painting, he would use very tiny little brush strokes, little dabs, like, you know, that painter that painted like, by using little dots. He would build up big pictures from like singular dots. One of his paintings just sold for like 100 million euros or something like that. Totally crazy fucking amount of money. But his paintings, he would take fucking months and months. That you just use these tiny little things. That's what an Olivia Polger's like. It's like made up from these tiny little dots, which all makes sense. And then the bigger picture makes sense as well. Demaché's not like that. Demacché uses big, broad brush strokes. Big, sweeping fucking... big, sweeping lines of rich, verdant paint. And you've got to stand back from it to see. Surat, yes, well, that's well said. That's exactly who it was. Spot on, Tim. It was Surat, and it was one of these things. I'm not sure if the people in it were naked. I remember that there was like a window. I can't remember what the painting was called. Fuck, but it was sold recently. I'll see what it was called. Surat, Georges Surat. Well, there it is. That's the one. They weren't naked at all. Oh, God, what was it? Oh, stop asking us for cookies, you absolute bastards. A Sunday on La Grande Jatte. Was that it? But he used to build these paintings. I think it was a Sunday on La Grande Jatte. And he used to make these fucking paintings. Tiny little dots. Demacché wasn't like that. You know, you had to stand back from Demaché's stuff to appreciate it. You know? And that's the difference between Polge and Demacché. Francois with his big brush, that's right, from JP. Welcome to you. There is a vinegar-like thing in black stem slightly, says Josie. It bothered me initially too. Now the Polges are legendary at blending, says Frank. Yep. They're just better. Natalia says, Tim, try it first. Mitzer is more polished. It's more polished, but it's generally the main accord. You would know what I mean if you tried it. The silver stem is completely devoid of anything abrasive. It's so good. It's so smooth. For something so intricate with what feels like infinite moving parts. They all move in unison like an engine. The combustion engine is a feat of engineering. And yet, when it works perfectly, you know? And everything has to work in it together all at the same time, and that's kind of like what a well-built perfume smells like. So does this mean that Le Leon is intricate, Rich? See, I don't think that Le Leon is intricate. I think it's a dirty great dollop of labdanum. I think that the perfume isn't very good. Pointillism was the technique. Aha. Damn, there are so many perfumers whose name are Olivier. It's because they're all there. It's because they're all French. Never smelled silver stem, says JP. Le Leon is Hollywoodized Shalimar. So crap. Yeah, I really hate it. I like Olivia Pachot, says Burke. Olivia Creed is a charlatan. Have you seen that Creed have changed the story behind the brand on their website? Saying that an archivist has found that the Creeds weren't always into perfume. They happened to be tailors for the first fucking 200 years or something crazy like that. Fucking lying shithouses. Oh, excuse me. Hydration is a must. I think the Leon is a step up from Shalimar, says Josie. Really? Hunting some silver stems myself. Smelled it years ago, says a regular tangent. I have many, and I will not be letting them go. I also happen to have many black stems as well, because I shat myself when I found out it was being fucking discontinued and started buying them like a lunatic. Brian says Shalimar definitely smells more Hollywood than Le Leon, in my opinion. Both great, though, and not more or less similar than 1,000 others. For example, Muscat Ravageur. I simply do not like. I don't like Shalimar either. I sold my bottle to Ramsey. You know? Didn't like Shalimar. I've sold a lot of perfumes this year. Got it all. Toilette. Shalimar Eau de Toilette. It's not a great perfume. Not for me. I've never understood why people really raved about it. You know? It's just never for me. Shalimar, and then what else did I sell? Jazz. By YSL. I really need to get my Fragrantica in order. It's the only place I keep track of like what perfumes I own and shit. I really like the Leon, however, it wouldn't crack my top 20 favourite Chanel, says Jonathan. It's a fair point. Love me some Le Leon, says Natalia. Rich, I did the same thing. I only have 4 bottles. I think I've got 4 bottles of the silver stem. I've got a 50ml that I'm halfway through at the minute. I actually sent like 5ml of the silver stem of George, Fragrance Apprentice. I've got like at least 5 silver stems, like 100ml, and then I've got a 50ml as well. And I've got like 3 or 4, maybe 5 of the black stems, including 150ml, a 150ml bottle, a big unit. Do you know how many bottles you own? I know how many different perfumes I own. It's about 400, but I don't know how many actual perfumes I own, including backups. Got to be closer to 600. Mitzer is better than Le Leon by a long shot, says Bry. Send me a mil of the original Dior Rom. Ah, punch myself in the mouth. What the fuck? Hear that? fucking idiot. Give us a second. Fuck off. Ow. Fancy punching yourself in the fucking lip? Ah. Fuck's sake. Ah. Don't punch yourself, Rich. I don't. What the fuck have I done that? I don't even know how I did it. All of a sudden, I was just slapped myself in the face. What the fuck? Right in my lip. What the fuck? Ow. Oh. Note to self, don't get slapped. Fucking fuck around and find out. You know what I mean? So I was fucking around, found out. Where were we? My fucking teeth. I fucking smacked myself in the lip. I literally like banged my teeth into each other. Like my bottom teeth into my top teeth. I just have black stems. Mitzer is better than Le Leon by a long shot, says Bry. I've always felt sycamore. Yeah, Caillou. Caillou has commented on my Arish Door thing. That is sorer than I thought it was going to be. Oh, fucking hell. Mitzer would be good to never got the chance. Blah, blah, blah. Irregular Tangent says, Mitzer would be good to hear, never got the chance, says Irregular Tangent. Like Chinotto as an alternative to Mitzer. Apprentice is entertaining, says Frank. Yeah. George is entertaining, he's sound. Send me a mill of the original Dior and I'll see what I can do. Not liking Shalimar is like saying the Beatles were shit. Oh dear, Tim. You are not going to like that. I'm not a fan of the Beatles, to be fair. Amber Sultan, if you can't get Mitzer. What? Amber Sultan before all others. Reference Amber. The greatest of Ambers. This says, Laura Rich, are you okay? Just stupid? Excuse me, just stupid and slapped myself in the face. Did you hear it? Like, literally, it rang through my head. Doof. I must have been like leaning on one of my hands and like propped myself up, and then the other hand just went up and it just whack straight in my fucking lip. Why are you hitting yourself? Beating myself up for not having enough Dior silver stem. Mitzer is not better than the Leon. It's totally different, says Natalia. Oh no, says Josie. Rich utters the name of Leon and punches his mouth as an involuntary response. Right, that's right. I had no control over it. Sycamore is a timeless classic. 31 Rue is my favorite Chanel. Love the extrait of Coromandel, though I really want to smell the extrait of Sycamore. Isn't here, Rich? You stop punching Rich Mitch in the face this instant. That's right. West Newt says, ashamedly, I've never smelled the silver stem hom. I'll send you a little bit if you want. You just had to wait until after Christmas now. Because it'll just get lost in the post. Tim says, Shalimar punched you. That's right. I've got a lip. Amber Sultan is totally different than Mitzer, says Natalia. When is the Fragrance Apprentice top 10 sheep species? What? Can you get 10 different species of sheep? I thought there was only one. Amber Sultan makes me feel sick. Good Lord. Do you think Amber Sultan's got this kind of orange vibe to it? I know it's an orange colour. But like, do you think it's got like an orangey sort of smell? You know? Like a dry orange. On Average Joe, welcome to you. Shocking, the Beatles. I really don't care for the Beatles, you know. Nice one, Rich. That'll be well appreciated, mate. You'll just have to remind us, mate. You just have to remind us. The Christmas post is just a nightmare. We'll do it next year at some point. Just remind us after the first week in January. Rich, we've discussed this Amber Sultan as the blueprint for Amber Solid Floors. I prefer Mitter as it doesn't have the herbaceous angle spice. Yeah, I forgot that we've discussed this. If we have. I have both and prefer black stem, but keep pumping up the price of the silver for me, says Fosco. That shit'll be going through the roof anyway, man. It doesn't need me. Joe says, has anyone tried Bulgari Onyx? Thoughts? Is that one of the tea ones? One of like the new one in the new bottles. Black stem has a lot more vetiver, says Paroli. I've never noticed vetiver in it. I think it's a bit more powdery. I've sprayed Sultan and Mitter out of curiosity, and they are very similar, says Frank. Black stem has a little more sage and lavender at the top, says Josie. Joe says, it's a part of the gem line, Privé, like with Tiger and Oram, yes, but it's the black stone, leather and spice, yes. I know which bottles you mean. I haven't tried it, though. I would like to try it. I would like to try it. I would like to try that line. Apparently, they've just got them into the local, the local Harrods, into the local Harrods offshoot store that they've got here now. It's like a beauty department, but it's just a beauty department from Harrods. It's been open for 6 months now, that store, Jesus. Oh, I dare not go in there at the minute because they'll be absolutely battering people to buy stuff. I've told you about the Dior counter. The Dior counter in this Harrods beauty store cost more than the average UK house price, which is insane because they're a rip-off as well. State-of-the-art stuff everywhere, though. Goodness me. I like the herbs and Amber Sultan, says Fosco. I like the herbs and Amber Sultan. Nick S says, there are 4 species of wild sheep. Oh, here we go. There are 4 species of wild sheep, but over 10,000 breeds of domestic sheep, apparently. Just in case anyone was wondering. I was wondering. 10,000 breeds of sheep. What on earth? How did that happen? 10,000 breeds of sheep. Domestic sheep. Bar that. Frank says, I mean, Mitter appears to be a homage to it. Plenty of labdanum ambers trace it back to Sultan, in my opinion. All you've got to do is look at the perfumes that came before and came after. I would like to try Mitter. There's a guy on eBay who actually knew who I was when I got in touch with him. He was like, oh, I watch your channel and that. I was like, hello. And he was like, the formulation code's never changed. And I learned something from him. He told us where the formulation code was and what to look out for and stuff like that. I always thought the formulation code was something different than what I'd been looking at. Which shows that you're never told to learn something. So, yeah, that was interesting. But he's got a vintage. He's got like an original release Mitter, but he wants 250 quid from it, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I want to pay that, and it's open as well. But then he's got a latest version as well, like a 2022 version, which is a 250 ml, because the older version's only 125, and it's got some missing. I was like, oh, come on. I would want a 250ml, I must admit, but I'd like the old 250ml. I wouldn't like the new one. I'm still waiting on this bloody Bois d'Argent coming. Pasta for dinner. Have a good evening, everyone. Have a good evening, Floral Notes. Lily, if you will. Super steak burrito for lunch, says Frank. Ooh. Sounds nice. Obviously, they're different fragrances after all, says Frank. I'm not saying they're the same. No. It's interesting when something's similar but also different to, like, a perfume and trying to, like, discern. It's very strange what we're doing. If you think about what we're actually doing here, it's like we're trying to communicate with sound what something smells like. You know? We're using one sense. Well, I'm communicating with sound, but using my eyes to read comments, to then say comments with sound, to then for you to hear it, and for you to then try and interpret what that might smell like. It's interesting. You know? It's cool. I like it. But it's not easy. You know? I found the best way to do it is try to impart a little, like, emotion with it. You know, there are much better reviewers than I am. You know, I'm not, like, putting myself down what I'm saying. Some people are a lot better at describing and discerning notes and chemicals and stuff like that. Mine's more sort of like my sort of thing is that, like, it's how the way it makes you feel, you know. It's very interesting, the way, like, the community is very kaleidoscopic in the way that it, like, perceives and describes fragrance, you know. An average Joe loves him some Mitza. And then Pi says Mitza's overrated and Missia is better. It's like Valentino Uomo compared to Dior. I'm intense, says Frank. Jura Rose really likes that original Valentino Uomo, the one made by Puig. Apparently that's the vintage, that's the one to get. So, keep your eyes out for that. That was made by Polish as well. Super steak burrito. What's so super about it, Frank? Tim Wilcox says, I have Amber Sultan. So thanks for the heads up, Remitter, so I'll save my money, maybe. That would be the guy with the 125mm Mitza with the missing box top, Rich. Yes, it would be, Tim Wilcox. We know that. We mix in the same circles, mate. I was talking to him the other day. He's really sound, actually. Still waiting on someone to get back to me on some goods, says DJ. Oi, oi. What you got lined up? I find Mitza is amber for people who want this cozy cashmere sweater pumpkin latte wearing all beige. Fragrance Views just released a video by Decita. Perfume by Decita. I'll be watching that in a minute because it's nearly 2 hours are nearly up, friends, and I am very thirsty and a little tired. Ow! I have Amber Sultan. Oh, sorry, I've read that. Very paradoxical, Rich, says Western Nude. Yes, I really like the original Valentino Homme. The one in the cigar glass bottle. The clear glass bottle, I beg your pardon. Irregular Tangent, says Joe. Onek is very oriental. Is great, very oriental. Using some type of sin-out base, but projects well. Synthetic, did you mean, Irregular Tangent? Same, love the clear, says Frank. Many ambers to explore, Mitts are not worth the money, my 2 cents, says Tripler. Super gets you sour cream and guacamole, says Frank. I like sour cream. It's got to be, sour cream's definitely like a dress and topping thing, isn't it? It's what goes on it is most important. What it goes on is most important, sorry. Absolutely, many great labdanum ambers out there, says Frank. DJ says, Rich, I have like 5 things lined up, but this is something else. Aha. Spinning many plates. Ah, welcome, Jack Dean. How are you? Have you been busy, mate? I'm about to leave, Jack Dean. I'm very sorry. It's not you, it's me. But the 2 hours is nearly up, mate. Frank says, Tom Ford Tobacco Oud is my most warm this cold season. Harkens back to Amber Absolute, another great amber. I say that Tobacco Oud, no, Amber Absolute is Tobacco Oud without the tobacco or the oud. Right, and when you smell it, you'll know what I mean. The structure is there, the spices are there, the amber's there. But the amber and the tobacco aren't there. You know, I love them both. Has anyone tried Lauder Amber Mystique? No. Well, I haven't. Not anybody. Somebody might do. Crazy good. Heard about it from JJ. Just discontinued and still cheap as chips. When did they bring that out? No worries, sleep well, I'm shattered, says Jack. But I just got here, says Gail, and 2 hours begins now. It's not when you get here. It's when I leave. Working Christmas week is just horrid, says Jack. Aish. I can imagine it's awful. Frank says lurker. And he's right. Galen is a lurker. Galen has been charged and convicted of being a lurker. Nick says, has anyone tried that floral JJ mentioned recently that he compared to Insensé and Nino Cerruti Pour Homme? I sold my Insensé. I couldn't hack it. I just really didn't like it. Sold it to somebody who was like, thank you so much for not pricing it absolutely ridiculously. I was like, that's fine, mate. I just wanted my money back. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Insensé. And ladies and gentlemen, with that... Oh, fuck, no, was that you, Nick? Hello. Sorry, I'm miles away. It's been a long day. Sorry about that. I'm all over. Well, I'm glad it went to a good home, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm only sorry it was just a 50 mil. But yes, thank you. Strange noises emanating from this house at the minute. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for commenting and liking. And all those other good things that we enjoy together. Good night, everyone. I will see you all again soon. Bye.